We're well under starters orders here for the first MX1 race of 2009, and it's a great start for David Philipparts, but he's got, looks like number 7, Jonathan Barragan, and one of the Suzukis. Is that Steve Ramon up the inside through the middle? It looked like it to me, but if that's the case, then Steve Ramon looks to have got the whole shot here in this opening race of the season, and that might have been the yellow-clad Swede of Johan Karlsson, number 33, who went down before turn 1. Max Nagel in second position. Qualified, well, he was up there in the qualifying heat yesterday. Who's that? Is that number 20? Oh, is that number 90? Sebastian Pourcel. So Sebastian Pourcel, back from injury, had a crash yesterday in qualification, but fortunately was undamaged. And when he qualified in 9th position, he was okay. I spoke to his father, Roger Pourcel, a little earlier on in the day, and with the mud, he was hoping that it would be something of a level playing field for all of these riders, because the pace and the intensity wouldn't be so high. Josh Coppins did lead the qualifying heat until he crashed at this point of the circuit in quite a big way yesterday, but fortunately he picked himself up and should be able to ride today. But number 11, Steve Ramon on the Tekka Suzuki, he's out in front at the moment, very often criticised for not being aggressive enough and pushing when he should do, but Steve Ramon knew that an important start was necessary this weekend. Oh, and Antonio Cairoli around the base of City Hill, he's found himself in a deep rut. Gregory Aranda just up the inside of him, so the Red Bull Ducati Yamaha rider of Antonio Cairoli well and truly buried down in the pack. Steve Ramon, though, leads from number 7, Jonathan Barragan. Max Nagel, number 5 on the factory Red Bull KTM, is 3rd. David Willeman on the Bud Racing Kawasaki, back from a long stint in the USA. The 31-year-old is now in 4th place. Mark de Reuver on the Martin Honda, number 14, is 5th from David Philipparts, so an okay start for the defending champion on the Monster Energy Rinaldi Yamaha. Igar Leok on the factory TM is in 7th position. Kevin Strybos on the Martin Honda is 8th. Josh Coppins, a good start for the Yamaha rider, in 9th place, ahead of Shannon Terreblanche. The South African was the first lap, but that's only provisional because he's not gone through. Steve Ramon legging his way through, and this is déjà vu for the 29-year-old Belgian. So more than enough time, I would think, in these conditions to try, and somebody doing a stand-up wheelie, trying to get that rear end of that machine out of that horrible Yamaha. Too much for this rider. Can't quite make out who that is. And this is deja vu all over again, similar to what we experienced in the first of the MX2 race. There's number 12, David Willeman on the Bud Racing Kawasaki. So David Willeman, after a great start to this opening race, now finds himself stuck on one of those many hills as Cairoli comes under the Brawn banner. Ramon leads from Nagel, Mark de Reuver 3rd, Coppins 4th, Clement de Sal in 5th place, Billy McKenzie on the Monster Energy CAS Honda in 6th, Leok on the Red Bull Ducati Yamaha. Tom Church on the build-based CCM is 11th, ahead of Kevin Strybos. Tony Cairoli now 13th, as Barragan taking a bit of a... In fact, was that Barragan that was trying to pull that bike out of that hole? Yes, absolutely it was. So Tom Church 11th, Kevin Strybos 12th, Cairoli is in 6th position, Agar Leok is in 7th on the factory TM. Sebastian Pourcel coming in for fresh goggles, fresh gloves on the Kawasaki Racing Team 450 fuel injected bike. Tony Cairoli now up into 7th position, so we did say he'd got a lot of time. He was down outside the top 20 early on because of a mistake at the bottom of this particular hill. Cedric Nolot 9th, Tom Church on the build base CC. Kevin Strybos. So Kevin Strybos on the 2nd of the Martin Hondas, qualified in 8th yesterday in the heat race, coming in for fresh goggles as we look out to the hills there. If you can, easier said than done, being in this position here. That bike is going to weigh a ton, about 100 kilos they weigh dry weight. You bury them with all this clay-like mud, and very, very quickly those bikes become very, very heavy indeed. Well, he had a 49-second lead over Clement de Sal, so maybe he's still got time. He heads up the hill towards the downhill double. As we fix our eyes on number 8, Tanel Leok. So Leok now leading, so we've lost Clement de Sal as well. De Reuver is still showing as being in 2nd position. but we know that he was down on one of those turns. DeSalle comes through in second, 30 seconds behind this man here. So Tanel Leok, Kenda Dyker on the Tekka Suzuki in fourth. Coppins is in fifth position behind the TM of Igor Leok. Kevin Strybos down in seventh on the Martin Honda. Eighth is Jonathan Barragan. So Barragan's recovered well from getting stuck in that rut just 2 or 3 laps ago. Oh! And Caroli's down. Caroli down the bank. Well, that's going to take some getting up from there, and you can see he's not the first one to go down there. Oh, I don't think that's going to be the right route there, Tony. No, not the right route. Surely not. He's trying, though. He's trying to get it back on in second gear. You can see second gear is over the top, and yeah, the Italian crowd loving that. So Tony Cairoli rescues third place, and you know his heart is beating at the moment inside that Pro Grip race clothing, because that was a scary moment. Yves Lemont, the early race leader, down in 16th at the moment. Coming for fresh gloves. Number 6, Coppins, stuck on the hill. Well, he had a big crash yesterday in qualification. He was leading, just coming into the corner where he was, down the staircase section, and just as he went to drop off the front, or something just spat him over the front, and he was down for a little while, knocked the wind out of him, but he's bounced back today and is now there in 6th position. And there we see Cairoli just getting a little bit wayward. He thought about going straight across and over that barrier there, but before he ended up dropping that Yamaha. More water on the circuit now, laying in the corners, filling the ruts up, laying on the tops of the staircase sections, in the base of the jumps. And again, and he goes down this time, and he manages to get going. No, he doesn't. He's sliding down the back just like his teammate did. The good news is he's got 1 minute 45 in hand over Clement DeSalle on the LS Motors Honda. Now, what's he going to do here? Which way is he going to go? He's going to go that way. He wants to be careful, though. That fence is awfully close. There we go. No, it's not going to happen. Yes, it is. Unfortunately, he didn't get that trackside banner wrapped up and around that wheel. So 2 big let-off moments for the Estonian, Tanel Leok. Slowly to victory here in the first race of the Italian Grand Prix in Faenza. Picks the same line as he did a lap ago. Comes over the line, and will he punch the air with joy? Yes, he does. And the quietly spoken Estonian, hopelessly across the circuit, relieved that it's all over. Had a bit of a quick wash.